Hey y'all, welcome back to my channel. I'm Angela, a fiber crafter in Houston, Texas, and this is Knit This Mess. I don't know if you can tell, but it's a pretty cloudy gray day here today. So I'm not going to be showing you a bunch of yarn because it would look awful in this light. So I'm just going to show you my progress on my twists and turns shawl, talk about what I'm going to do next week, in the coming week, and talk to you about the Cordsmith I-cord tool. So here's my twists and turns. I finished both of the wing, the striped wing parts. Here we go. And I've started section 10, which is the kind of tail along the back, where you have the accent color, and then you go into some more chevron stripes. So I'm working on that. So, and I'm just going to keep working on this for the next, I am not a monogamous knitter. I have a lot of trouble just sticking to one project at a time, which I think is probably fairly obvious. But I was debating whether or not I wanted to do the I-cord embellishments on this cable section, and I decided that I did want to do them, but I was not relishing the thought of making all those I-cord strands. So I ordered one of those Cordsmith I-cord tools that I've been seeing online. And I was very excited about it, and it arrived, and I opened up the package, and it was just inside. It was wrapped up in bubble wrap and everything, but it was just the tool. There were no instructions or anything. And so I went online looking for instructions about how it worked, how to set it up, how to best practices for using it. And all I found were a couple of videos of somebody going along, moving along, booking along, making a lot of I-cord, but very little about how to set it up or explaining about setting up. I did find one video of someone setting it up. I watched it a few times and I finally figured out what they were doing. So stay tuned and I will do my own tutorial about how to set up the tool, how to use the tool, tips and tricks to make sure your I-cord has a nice, neat start. All of these things. We'll be talking about it later in the video. So yeah, that's my plan for the next week. Going to be finishing off that tail end, doing the I-cord embellishments, and I don't know if I'll finish it before I come back next week. Maybe. I didn't get nearly enough knitting done this last week because we had a whole bunch of stuff going on. I had one whole day where I wasn't able to get any knitting done at all. I was out of the house from 11 in the morning till 11 at night. So yeah, but we're moving along, making a lot of progress, making a whole lot more progress than I thought I would have made. There was also that mystery project I mentioned last time. I haven't made any progress on that because I've really been focusing on this week. Let's see what else is in my knitting bag. Oh, milk chocolate peanut butter cups from Aldi. If you have an Aldi in your neighborhood, these are amazing. And one of the things I like about them is that they don't have wrappers on them. You open it up and it's just like that. So no pesky wrapper to get through. You can just open up and eat it. You're welcome. Okay, so what else do I have in here? I have this Plutolopi here that I had to get out to do a little mending, a little fix-it on one of my Lopaces this week. We had one day last week that was a chilly day, and it happened to be a Thursday, and it was a day that I was able to go and knit in public with the group for the first time since before the pandemic shut us all down. So this is my first time going back with this kind of newly reformed group. It's not exactly the same as before, but I was able to go do that. And one of the ladies noticed that my sweater had a little bit of, I got to wear a sweater. And it was one of my Lopapeces, and she noticed there was a little spot near the bottom that was kind of coming undone. So I had to get my yarn out and fix that. Okay. So I've got this poncho. Oh man, look at that. Don't you hate when that happens? I need to put those little sticky things on the ends of my needles. But yeah, so I'll be picking those stitches up, and maybe I'll work on that poncho this week if I need a break from the twists and turns. Okay, so that's what I accomplished this week. Not much. So I'm going to be working on in the next week. Again, not much. And a little bit of intro about the iCord tool. And if you stick around, there will be a little tutorial. And thank you for watching. Please like and subscribe if the tutorial proves helpful to you, or if you just want to. And I will see you next week. Bye. Okay, y'all, here we go with my Cordsmith iCord tool tutorial or demo review. I ordered mine from Knitting is Metal, so it's black and it has their little skull and crossbones branding on it. A little bit about the construction. You can see it's 3 hooks. It has these little flip levers. I don't know what they're really called, so I'll call them flip levers. And as you can see, when you have it open, it comes partly over this little divot right here. And those divots are going to be really important, as we will see in a minute. Okay, so here are some sample iCords that I made this week. I've been practicing off and on for a few days. You can see it's nice and springy and very symmetrical. It gives you very neat stitches, which much more even than I am able to produce making iCord the traditional way. I do have one here that has this sloppy end. If you can see it, it's kind of elongated and messy looking. And I will show you how to avoid that happening. Okay, so let's start with our slip knot. As we often do when we're knitting or crocheting. And when you make your slip knot, it's the way you make your slip knot is really, really important in achieving a nice finished start. So when you make your slip knot, I'm going to make it this way first to show you how. So here, as you can see, I'm pulling on my non-working end and nothing's happening. I pull on my working end and it closes up the aperture. That is what you do not want. When you make your slip knot for making this iCord, you want to make sure that the aperture is adjusted by the non-working end. See how I'm pulling on it and on the non-working end, and it makes it tighter. Okay, so now we take that loop, make sure our flips are down, take the loop and put it over our hooks and pull it snug. Now, middle hook, the yarn goes under it. See, so we've got our loop, and it goes over, under, over. Okay, now bring that down below the flip levers and into the divot. Hold on to that non-working end to keep it out of the way. Put your working yarn across the, it's a fiddly start. Okay, put your working yarn across the hooks and bring this up. And I find the first couple of rows, I have to push those over with my finger until we get it started. Okay, and then bring it up and push, make sure it's all the way over, push and push all the way over. Now we've got all three of them going, ready to go. Yarn over, up and down. Okay, yarn over, pull up and down, working yarn across the hooks, pull it up and down, working yarn across the hooks, pull it up and down, up and down, into the divot, up and over and down, into the divot, up, over and down. And once you get it going, you can really just get into the groove and keep it going. You want to keep a certain amount of tension on this that helps keep it down into the divot and pulling up over this so it pulls up all the little levers, right? So here we go. See now, we have that floppy end like I showed you on that one at the beginning, right? But because we made our loop so that the aperture is adjusted by the non-working end, we can pull it up nice and tight. See? And then we have a neat end. This one, let me find it. Where'd it go? This one was made with the aperture adjusted by the working yarn end. So now you've just got a knot there and no way to neaten that up. You don't want. So let's say we've gotten to the end. Just need a little bitty I-cord here. Snip that. Tapestry needle. Hey, tapestry needles. So look, I've got mine has a little, most of mine have this little bent tip. I have a friend who does not like the bent tip. She only wants to use the straight, very straight ones. So what about you? Do you have a preference? Do you care? I don't really care. This just seems to be kind of the way things have worked out. Now it's just being difficult. There we go. Do. Tiny I-cord. Springy. So yeah. Definitely recommend it if you've got a lot of I-cord to do. I think if I were just had to do like a little short embellishment or something like that, I would, or like like if I'm doing, say, like a 5 or 6 stitch I-cord to start a project with, I wouldn't use this. But if you've got to do a big old long thing or a lot of longish things like I'm going to have to do for the twist and turn shawl, definitely this is the way to go. So I hope this was helpful to you and answered any questions. If you want to talk about it in the comments or ask questions in the comments, if there's something that I didn't explain very well or you'd like to see repeated, just let me know. Thanks a lot.